For decades, the global car industry was dominated by familiar names: Toyota, Volkswagen, Ford, General Motors, Mercedes-Benz, and later Tesla. But in just a few years, a company that began with batteries became one of the most important automakers on the planet. That company is BYD Auto. Based in China, BYD is no longer just a local success story. It has become China's best-selling car brand, one of the world's most valuable car manufacturers, and a major force in electric vehicles. Its rise shows how quickly the auto industry can change when batteries, software, manufacturing scale, and government-backed market shifts all move in the same direction. To understand BYD, you have to understand more than one car company. You have to understand how China's electric vehicle market became the largest in the world, and how BYD positioned itself at the center of that transformation. BYD Auto is the automotive subsidiary of BYD Company, a Chinese multinational manufacturer. The parent company was originally known for batteries, and that detail is crucial. Unlike traditional car makers that had to learn batteries after building gasoline cars for generations, BYD entered the auto business with deep experience in rechargeable battery production. BYD Auto manufactures passenger battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, which China groups under the term New Energy Vehicles, or NEVs. It also makes electric buses and electric trucks. The company sells vehicles under the main BYD brand, but it has also built a portfolio of additional brands. Denza targets higher-end buyers, Fangchengbao focuses on more specialized premium vehicles, Yangwang sits at the top as an ultra-luxury brand, and Linghui serves commercial needs. This structure allows BYD to compete across price ranges instead of relying on a single market segment. The story of BYD Auto officially begins in January 2003, when BYD Company entered the car business by acquiring and restructuring Xianqinchuan Automobile. At the time, BYD was not yet seen as a serious threat to established automakers. Its first self-designed car, the BYD F3, began production in 2005. It was a petrol-powered sedan, not an electric vehicle, and it reflected the company's early need to learn conventional automotive manufacturing before fully shifting toward electrification. But even then, BYD's battery background gave it a different long-term direction from many competitors. It was not simply trying to copy the old auto industry forever. It was building the foundation to move into vehicles where battery cost, battery reliability, and electrical systems would become central to competitiveness. BYD's electric ambitions became clearer in the late 2000s. In 2008, it launched the BYD F3DM, its first plug-in hybrid electric vehicle. Then in 2009, it introduced the BYD E6, its first battery electric vehicle. These models did not instantly make BYD a global household name, but they were important signals. While much of the global industry was still debating whether electric cars would become mainstream, BYD was already experimenting with real products. Plug-in hybrids were especially important because they offered a bridge between the gasoline era and the fully electric future. They could use battery power for shorter trips while keeping an engine for longer journeys. That approach later became a major part of BYD's strategy, allowing it to appeal to buyers who wanted lower fuel use and electric driving without relying entirely on charging infrastructure. The turning point came after 2020. China's new energy vehicle market expanded rapidly, supported by consumer demand, industrial policy, charging infrastructure, and intense domestic competition. BYD benefited from this shift more than almost any other car company. Instead of treating electric vehicles as a side project, it made them the center of its business. In 2022, BYD ended production of purely internal combustion engine vehicles. That was a major strategic statement. Many legacy automakers continued balancing gasoline cars, hybrids, and electric cars, but BYD chose to focus entirely on new energy vehicles. This did not mean only battery electric cars. It also included plug-in hybrids, which became a powerful sales engine. By offering both BEVs and PHEVs, BYD could serve customers with different budgets, driving habits, and charging access. One of BYD's biggest advantages is vertical integration. In simple terms, vertical integration means controlling more of the supply chain internally instead of relying heavily on outside suppliers. BYD claims that most components used in its vehicles are produced in-house within the broader BYD group. This includes batteries, electric motors, electronic controls, and other key systems. In the electric vehicle industry, that matters enormously. Batteries are often the most expensive component in an EV, and supply shortages can limit production. If a company can design, produce, and coordinate critical parts itself, it can reduce costs, respond faster to demand, and improve product integration. Vertical integration is not easy, and it requires huge investment, but it can create a durable advantage when the market is scaling quickly. At the heart of BYD's strategy is battery technology. BYD's battery subsidiary, FinDreams Battery, is one of the world's largest electric vehicle battery producers, second only to CATL as of 2024. BYD has focused heavily on lithium iron phosphate batteries, known as LFP batteries. LFP chemistry is generally valued for safety, durability, and lower cost compared with some nickel-based battery chemistries, though it has historically offered lower energy density. BYD's proprietary Blade battery is one of its most important innovations. The Blade battery is designed to improve space efficiency and safety while using LFP chemistry. For consumers, battery technology is often invisible, but it shapes the price, range, safety reputation, and production economics of every electric car. BYD's battery strength is therefore not a side business. It is central to why the company can compete so aggressively. BYD's rise in China was dramatic. In 2023, it became the best-selling car brand in the country, surpassing Volkswagen. That was symbolic because Volkswagen had been a dominant foreign brand in China for decades after the liberalization of the Chinese automotive industry. For BYD to overtake Volkswagen was not just a sales milestone. It signaled a deeper change in consumer preference and industrial power. Chinese buyers were increasingly choosing domestic new energy vehicles over traditional foreign gasoline models. BYD benefited from offering cars across many price points, from affordable mass-market models to premium vehicles. It also moved quickly in a market where product cycles are fast and competition is intense. In China, BYD became not only an EV leader but a mainstream car leader. Another key part of BYD's success is its wide product strategy. Some EV companies build their identity around a small number of models. BYD has done almost the opposite. It offers sedans, SUVs, compact cars, plug-in hybrids, battery electric vehicles, premium vehicles, commercial vehicles, buses, and trucks. This breadth gives BYD several advantages. It can reach first-time car buyers, families, business fleets, luxury buyers, and government or commercial customers. It can also use shared technology across different models, spreading development costs over large volumes. In a market as large as China, this range matters. A single popular model can help a company grow, but a broad lineup can make it resilient. BYD's approach resembles a full-scale automotive empire rather than a narrow EV startup. After building strength at home, BYD expanded overseas starting in 2021, with growing attention on Europe, Southeast Asia, Oceania, and the Americas. International expansion is both a huge opportunity and a major test. On one hand, many countries are pushing toward lower-emission transportation, creating demand for electric cars, plug-in hybrids, electric buses, and fleet vehicles. BYD can bring competitive pricing, battery expertise, and manufacturing scale to those markets. On the other hand, selling cars globally is difficult. Automakers must deal with safety rules, tariffs, dealer networks, brand trust, service infrastructure, political tensions, and different consumer expectations. A company that dominates at home does not automatically win abroad. BYD's global future depends on whether it can turn manufacturing strength into long-term brand credibility outside China. By 2025, BYD had reached a level that would have seemed unlikely 2 decades earlier. It became the world's largest electric car maker, overtaking Tesla, and it also surpassed Ford to become 6th in total automobile sales. At the same time, nearly 77% of BYD's sales still came from the Chinese market. That combination tells us something important. BYD is already a global-scale manufacturer, but its sales base remains heavily tied to China. This gives it a powerful home advantage, but also exposes it to domestic market saturation, price wars, and economic shifts. For global investors and competitors, BYD is significant not only because of its current sales, but because it represents a model of car-making where battery production, vehicle engineering, and high-volume manufacturing are tightly linked. BYD's rise has not come without controversy. The company has faced scrutiny over aggressive price reductions, labor issues at its facilities, and environmental concerns. Price cuts can benefit consumers, but they can also intensify pressure across the industry, squeezing suppliers and competitors. Labor and environmental questions are especially important for any company trying to become a trusted global brand. As BYD expands, it will face more attention from regulators, journalists, unions, environmental groups, and rival governments. The bigger the company becomes, the less it can be judged only by sales numbers. Its long-term reputation will depend on product quality, worker treatment, environmental responsibility, transparency, and after-sales support. BYD's story is therefore still being written. It is already one of the defining companies of the electric vehicle era, but the next chapter will decide whether it becomes a truly global automotive institution. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more explainers.